I first discovered animal communication actually through a friend who was following Nikki. And so I looked at some of her things online, was hooked right away, took her workshop about a year and a half ago, and was initially a little bit skeptical, not about the ability to talk to animals, but about my ability to be taught to do it. Because I always thought it was something that somebody was born with. I thought it was a special gift that you had to have from the get go. And when Nikki shared her story of learning this, of being a lawyer first and doing a deep dive into this herself and being wildly successful with it, it immediately piqued my interest because that was very similar to my career path. I had been a disaster responder for 14 years, was at a point of extreme burnout, and really wanted to change the course of not only my career, but honor my love of animals and be able to do that as part of my part of my career as well. So through that workshop, I not only was surrounded by more than a dozen people who automatically had similar interests to me, but we're also in the same boat of being new, of being beginners, and I'm now doing this for income. I'm doing this part time, eventually hoping to make it a full time endeavor. And it's been such a thrill in my life because I am doing what I love. If I had not had the community around me that was Nikki's Academy, I don't think I would be in the position I am today of doing this as a lucrative career. I think it is such a vulnerable place to be. And had I not had the support of people who are in the same boat, trying skills, being, open and also learning what it is to trust yourself, what it is to gain confidence, I just don't think that I would have maintained interest. And I don't think that I would have been in the spot today that keeps me going, that keeps me on my toes, excited. I have several friends that I've made through the community so fast. We all stay in touch. We still practice together. We're always challenging each other to go a little bit further, to step outside of our comfort zone. And I have grown as a person. I mean, beyond just the skill of animal communication, I have seen my ability to trust myself bloom. I have seen my self confidence go in a completely new direction for the better, which is serving all areas of my life beyond just animal communication. And Nikki does an incredible job of encouraging other people in her course to connect with each other, to practice with each other's animals. It was a great comfort for me for people to practice with my own animal who's now in spirit, because it also validated for myself that this is real. There is always this initial skepticism of, am I actually doing this or is this just my thought? And being able to be in the position where people are practicing with my animal and also taking a turn to practice with theirs really sealed the entire deal for me. It brought me so much peace, so much comfort, so much excitement. And it's the gift that kind of just keeps on giving. In the very beginning of my journey with Nikki, learning animal communication, I got messages from the get go, but they were more singular words, things like nouns and maybe a few images here and there. And I've noticed being so consistent in my practice, doing several practice sessions a week for the last year, year and a half, that those messages that I'm receiving have turned into phrases, which have turned into paragraphs, which have sometimes turned into full scenes playing out how I get these messages. And that has been such a thrill to see the level of detail skyrocket in such a short amount of time, given the amount of investment that I've chosen to put into this skill. And not only does that benefit my confidence level, but it's also exactly what somebody on the other side of this who is having a session done for them, for their animal, is in need of. And Nikki, having shared her journey of how she started and being exactly in the same position as someone like me, showing that it is possible to get to that level if you just put in the work, if you believe in yourself, if you encourage other people around you in places like the course, the community, to also get a little bit uncomfortable. That's the whole point. And I am so grateful that I chose to take that step. I'm so grateful that I have been able to take a chance in doing this for a lucrative career because it has paid off immensely. The incentive for me to have joined Nikki's course was knowing that it's not a secret that she's been wildly successful in building her business around animal communication. And when she told me that that was an aspect of what the students would be learning, how to set up a payment system, how to market yourself, how to tell the world about this in a way that feels true and authentic, but still works to attract clients, that was a massive selling point for me. And I have been so grateful to know sort of her secrets from the inside out, because that's also a big part of starting this as a business, even if you're doing it as a side hustle or part time, is turning the ability to talk to animals into a package that resonates with people. And if you're able to do that, you're able to help more people and you're able to help more animals' voices be heard. And I think it's very rare to be able to find that in someone today who is teaching people how to talk to animals as a full set. Not only that speaks to somebody in a very clear, concise way, but that actually works. And I really, if there's one thing that I would tell people who are sort of on the fence of joining the course, it's to take a chance in just the skill, but it's also to take a chance in yourself because you will be rewarded beyond anything you ever thought was possible.